Welcome to episode 5 of the Man Knows Hip Hop podcast. I'm your host, the Notorious Jigs, aka the Slack Supremacist. We got a special guest on the show this week, and of course, my partner in crime, my man E. What's up, E man?
I'm good, man. E Major here. We're here with Man Knows Hip Hop, the podcast that knows and celebrates hip hop. Yes. So, like my guy said, man, we got a special guest on today. Anyone who's heard me talk about hip hop or seen me tweet about hip hop or talk about my journey into hip hop or read my blogs, you'll all probably sick of me always saying it's my big sister that I fell in love with hip hop through when I was there playing with my GI Joe and my Transformers and my toys and my Mutant Turtles and all them things. I was hearing Public Enemy, EPMD, Big Daddy Kane, all these things just blasting from my bedroom, man. And yeah, I thought it'd be good to have her on the show today, man. So this is my big sister, Nikki, aka Indy. So yeah, man, do you want to give a little introduction to yourself, sis?
Hi, everybody. Yes, so I am Nikki, also known as Indy. Hip hop has a massive place in my heart. I'm from the golden era, so everything that means anything, Boogie Down Productions, Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, 45 Unit, that's my era. Yeah, and it's a pleasure to be here, absolute pleasure.
Big up, Nikki, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's going to be a good one. So,
you want to kick us off, bro, with what we're going on this week?
Yeah, man, for sure. So, as you all know, unfortunately, man, we had the COVID pandemic just mess life up for like the last 18 months, man, in a nutshell. But, you know, we were just sitting down talking, thinking about some of the things that it's caused us to miss out on. Obviously, lives have been lost and everything like that. So obviously, you know, I mean, our condolences with everyone who's lost people. But we were just thinking about, you know, one of the things that we missed the most was concerts. And we're avid concert goers. Do you know what I mean? Love going to shows, haven't stopped or you know what I mean, gotten cold with that. We love going to shows, man. So we thought, why not do an episode talking about some of our most memorable concerts? It might be memorable for good reasons or memorable for bad reasons. Or just funny stories or anything to do with shows, man. So yeah, we thought the three of us would just combine and talk about some of that this week. So so yeah, stick with us, man. So I'll kick us off. There is a slight delay with me for some reason, so just bear that in mind. But I thought I'd kick us off today. I made a little note of some concerts and things. So first of all, in regards to shows, what I'll probably look at or what we can mention first is the very first concert we ever went to. All right. Obviously, it is a hip hop podcast, but if your first show wasn't a hip hop one, that's cool. But maybe also mention just the first hip hop one you went to as well. So to kick us off, the first concert I ever went to was Redman in 1992. Went with my sister. So I would have been probably 11 years old, man, going to that concert. I remember it clearly. My mum was away. Don't know if she's away for a couple of days or work or what have you. I don't know. But our older sister was watching us for the night, and we was like, "Look, man, can we go to this concert? Can we go to this concert?" Obviously, my sister was cool to go because she was of age. I clearly wasn't, but we went anyway. My first ever concert. I remember the concert. Where was it now? I can't remember where it was, to be honest. But he had this big beach. Kentish Town, yeah. So he had this big beach volleyball that he kept kicking into the crowd. And he was mad late. Like he took ages to come on. But anyway, I knew the album, obviously hearing from my sister always playing it. I think he only had what the album out at that time. But he came, killed it, man. It was a good show, brilliant time, man. I just got a buzz for going to shows at that time. And I remember just being there, enjoying it, going home. Obviously, our big sister was thinking, you know, are we okay? Mobiles weren't really a thing at that time in 1992. So by the time we got home, I remember it clearly, man. She was sitting on the stairs, just there rocking like this, just waiting to see if we'd walk in. If we were still, she's probably thinking, "What's happening? Are we alive?" And all she's thinking to herself is, "What am I going to tell my mum? What am I going to tell mums? I let them go." Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good time, man. Really good concert, and who better to see for your first concert than Redman? He's a brilliant performer, man. So so yeah, man. Slack, what about you? What was your first concert, man?
The first concert I remember ever going to was Michael Jackson Bad Tour in '88. Yeah, so my uncle, he wasn't a massive Michael Jackson fan. I think at that point in time, there was like a divide, wasn't there? Like the kids were kind of Michael Jackson, the older people more Prince, and my uncle was more Prince. But I think he was working on some contract or something around the Wembley area. He had some big contract he was doing, and I think he was basically giving tickets. So yeah, he took me to the show, and I couldn't tell my other cousin because he could only pick one of us to go. So I couldn't tell my other cousin, who was mad on Michael Jackson as well, that I was going to this show. So I had to kind of keep it secret for a few weeks until I told him what at the time. Like he could have handled that pressure. But man, I can't even explain to you. Like it was as a kid, like 8. I think I must have been about 8 years old at the time, and just seeing him come out on stage and just the noise. I remember the noise like it was yesterday of when he was actually spotted. Just waiting for him as well, the anticipation of waiting, because you have a start time which must have been about doors must open at like 6 or something like that, but he ain't hitting the stage for a few hours. And at my age at that time, I had no concept of that, knowing that artists don't hit the stage until maybe a bit later on. So we're there for like a couple of hours or whatever, just waiting. Like people are rolling in, it's getting packed. And in that moment where you're just like, oh my God, he's coming on the stage. And then you see this person who you've kind of idolized, and you see them on the records and the video, all of that stuff. And then he's just there, bro. I can't explain it to you, man. The noise, the people fainting, like screaming. I've never heard anything like it. And I've been to hundreds of shows since, but that will stick in my mind forever. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So when I hear people comparing MJ to, modern day artists that we've got now, I'm like, man. No one's touching that. You just can't. He was above music. It was like people seeing a god or something. Like that's the only way I can explain it. And me at that age, obviously he was I was emulating his moves and all them things at that kind of time, and I knew all the songs. So yeah, bro, just a different thing, man. Just amazing.
Never seen him live, man.
Yeah, man. I was so glad that I did. I was really glad that I got to do it, man. So big up Uncle Steve, man. Much respect to you for that one.
And at his prime as well, like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. 88. I mean, what would that have been?
That was the Bad album.
Yeah, I was just thinking. That was Bad. Sorry, Bad. 88.
That must have been huge.
Oh.
Yeah. Because Bad dropped 87, isn't it? So yeah, it would have been off the back of Bad. That would have been insane.
Yeah, I think it was like late 88. I think it must have been about September, maybe 88, around that kind of time. I think it was late summer.
So that's the arena, right?
That's right. Yeah, it was absolutely spectacular. And I think I still must have the poster, because you could buy the posters and just a load of stuff in like boxes, and I've got so much like memorabilia and all kinds of stuff from concerts and stuff that I kind of kept together. So I've still got the poster somewhere of the Bad tour. I've still got some memorabilia. I think I might have a T-shirt. That's obviously way too small for me now, but I'm pretty sure I kept that as well. But yeah, man, that was a great way to start off my love for concerts and shows and stuff.
Definitely, man. What would you say is your first hip hop one? Do you remember?
I honestly don't remember my first hip hop show. I was trying to think about it, and I remember Snoop came to Brixton in 92, 93. And I remember I went to that, but I don't know if that was my first hip hop show, because I think I did things like Big Daddy Kane. I think I went to a show with my uncle. Dayla did a show in the park at some point as well, and I just can't chronologically remember which order it came in. So I want to say Snoop in 93 was my first. It was either Snoop, Wu-Tang again was at Brixton. That was right around the time that 36 Chambers was coming out as well. So I just can't remember chronologically which one was. Yeah. So that was always a bit of a, because I just went to so many, man. It just kind of blurred into one. But yeah, one of those guys was my first ever hip hop show, and just incredible. But we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, man. Okay. Indy, do you remember what your first hip hop show was?
Yeah, my first one was Bobby Brown, so it wasn't hip hop, but
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
That must have been dope.
Yeah,
Of
no,
course, man.
that was pretty amazing. Like, he had a huge following at that time. I can't remember the album.
Don't Be Cruel.
Don't Be Cruel.
Must have been that era, yeah.
Exactly, Don't Be Cruel. Had all the dance moves, had his dungarees with no top underneath. I do remember that.
You used to love Bobby, boy.
All the girls did.
Bobby in the
Trust me.
with he was in the bar. I can't remember, but every girl remembered that. But yeah, my first hip hop concert was Public Enemy, not Fear of a Black Planet. It was Apocalypse 91. So it was incredible. Like, I'd missed the one behind me, the Def Jam tour. Missed that one. Then they came again, but I wasn't allowed to go because I was too young. But then in 91, I was allowed. So 74 to 91, how old was I?
You'd have been, what, 17?
16?
I'm really bad at maths, so I'm not going to lie. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was 16 and I was allowed to go. And I will never forget that they came out to Lost at Birth. I don't know if you know about Lost at Birth, but I mean, the anticipation, first of all, with the album coming out and then getting the tickets and then going to the show, like, was just everything for me. Absolutely everything.
Of course, man.
Yeah. First concert, hip hop concert, unforgettable, really. And the S1W have such an impact, and such a stage presence. And then you've got Flavor coming out, acting like the clown. And everyone's just waiting for Chuck D to come out because he's the last one.
Of course.
It's like he's at the back, on the mic, it's clear the way for the S, 1Ws. And so he's just on the mic and then he comes out last and it's just mayhem, absolute mayhem. And I'm like, thank you, Mum. Thanks. And that was it. That was like, yeah, concerts are here to stay. This is what I'll be doing for the rest of my life, because you leave and you've left, but you've not left. You're still there. You're still sweating. You're still.
That's a good point. Yeah.
With everybody, just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd probably say Public Enemy to us
talking about it and stuff, and you're like, this song. Remember when he did this?
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
That's true. You hear the song again, and then there's memories from the concert, innit, that you remember. Yeah, stuff like that. Definitely. I think Public Enemy's I've probably seen them the most out of anyone. Public Enemy and Redman, probably the people I've seen most. Public Enemy probably about 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I've seen probably Meth about 3 times and Red about 4.
Okay.
And then I've probably seen, but that's including Meth and Red shows. Yeah. And then I've probably seen Public Enemy about 4 or 5 times, probably.
Definitely.
Probably.
Across the UK.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you travel around. Like.
Yeah.
I think Busta Rhymes I've seen 4 times. And I think I've seen Redman with Eric Sermon, Kool Mo D. No, sorry, DJ Kool, PMD, and a few others. Then I've seen him 2 or 3 times with Method Man.
That's amazing.
So I think they're tied. I've seen KRS 3 times. So yeah, I think it must be Redman tied with Busta Rhymes for the most times I've seen a show.
Have we seen Busta E? Did you see Busta?
I know I have. I've seen him once though, but that was much later on. I didn't see him twice. We've definitely seen him once. Remember that time when we went Temple? We was talking about it on last week's episode when it was Temple. Big up Temple, Tottenham Heads. When it was meant to be AZ, Busta, and Shaheem, but you remember only Busta showed up.
Yeah.
And he was talking to us in the crowd in the queue. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was that time. That would have been 96. That would have been 96. Then I didn't see him again until Indigo, which would have been about 2015, 16, like
Was
much
that when
later on.
was that when he came out with the big white feather jacket?
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
one, bro. Was you there as well?
Yeah, I was there, man.
Man, yeah, him and Splish
He
Star,
came
innit?
out on
Yeah,
the throne with a woman on each side. And
that's the one. That's the
Wow.
yeah,
one.
yeah, I've got that on video still.
That's the one. When was that? That was probably about
That was
16, innit?
about 5
2016.
years ago. Yeah, so about 2016. I went to so many shows that year, man. I went to like Master Ace,
Yeah,
Master Locks, Ice Cube. I think
I
was
was
that
at the
year.
locks.
Oh, we
Yeah,
saw
so
Ice
many.
Cube, didn't we, bro? We saw Ice Cube.
I've not seen him, you know. You might. I don't think I was at that one. I've not seen him live. That's one of the few people I'd like to see live that I haven't seen yet.
Incredible.
That must be a good show.
Yeah, Ice Cube was dope.
That must be a good show, man.
What was the Wicked album? Was that?
That was Predator.
Predator. Oh God, the Predator tour, incredible.
Predator, yeah.
I can't remember the year of that, but
What was that? 92? Predator?
92.
92.
92, yeah. Then it was Lethal Injection.
Because Lethal Injection was 93.
Was it something like that? Yeah, so Predator was like 92 then, yeah.
Brilliant.
Wicked must have been mad live.
That was amazing. Oh, that was absolutely amazing. I love Ice Cube.
So I think after our first concert, I think the next question, the next obvious question is favorite concert.
Oh,
now I know that this is going to be very tough because even myself, yeah, it's difficult. But you know, for the sake of the show, I think we got to pick at least one that just sticks in the memory as a special show. So yeah, man. So
that is the word. I think that's what makes it easy. If you say special.
Yeah, special. Yeah. One that sticks in the memory, that your first go to as soon as someone says to you, "What's your favorite ever hip hop show you've been to?" Which one would you say?
I would say the most special and the most memorable for me was London Posse. So when, and this was, bro,
yes.
How long ago was that? Was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was like 17. It might have been 17, 18.
I was meant to go to that show.
Jazz Cafe. Yeah.
Yes.
That was special,
and it was the reason I couldn't go. But I was meant to go to that one.
When we were younger, there was this massive north and south divide. And our parents wouldn't allow us down the end of the Victoria line, right? And, you know, London Posse were right on the other end of the line, and anything associated with that, we weren't allowed. So to be able to see them back together on the stage and the chemistry and the crowd, they had to pull back Gangster Chronicles a couple of times. Just, you know, when your heart just melts and you're just speechless, like that's what it was, because they hadn't spoken for
years.
That's the thing, yeah, man.
And they were almost like die-hard South Londoners there, die-hard London Posse fans there. And you have to remember, when that album came out back in the day, it was one of the biggest albums to come out of London. It was real.
It's a classic, man.
Absolutely.
Classic. There was no,
it's a classic, yeah.
Let's pretend we've got this American accent. It was just, this is the reality of London, house life in London, all that stuff, you know. So yeah, to just hear that again at a mature age, it was just amazing. So for me, that was super special. Yeah. And I think probably P, he's just amazingly talented, and seeing Bionic just up there, you know, just remembering all the lyrics. Like, I can't even remember half my lyrics, but incredible.
Big man were crying at that concert, you know. People were talking after, saying that people were shedding tears at that concert, man. Like old family members had reunited, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were so grateful for that reconnection. And
it was special, man. That was a good night. Definitely.
Man, that's what I was meant to go. I can't remember the reason I couldn't go to that show.
Very good reason.
It was because I think I was doing a show for work up in Manchester, and I think that was the reason, because my guy literally had, because he worked for Ticketmaster at the time, so I could walk in and out of concert venues at any point. So we were going to like shows literally like once a week at some point. And London Posse came up, and I was like, bro, this is gonna be crazy, and da da da. And he would actually like be printing tickets and putting the shows on for these acts and stuff at the time.
Wow.
So yeah, when that came up, we were both amped for it, and then I was like, bro, I can't do that date. So I think it was about 2017, because that was when I was putting on a load of shows across the country for work. So yeah, man, I was gutted I couldn't go, but yeah, I would have definitely been there with you guys, man.
Yeah, brilliant.
That was special, man. It was special.
Yeah, I'm gutted that one.
So let me throw some. Yeah, okay, man. I know we said we're gonna try and do the one, but I did jot down a couple because it all, like you said, we've been going to shows for so long, man. So we said standouts, yeah. So okay, obviously there's shows that I really enjoyed. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, I think KRS-One is probably one of the best performers live. That was Jazz Cafe, insane. Locks was good as well. The same one you was at, I think that was after, unfortunately, Styles P just lost his daughter in it, because he had cancelled it. They had cancelled the show because of what happened to his daughter. Yeah, that's right. So this was the one that they put on after that. So it was special, man. One of the things I loved seeing as well was just the unity that they got, man. You can tell, man, that they check for each other. Do you know what I mean? And that was good to see. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is, though, if you don't mind, just bear with me. But I'm gonna give two. I've got to give twos. I can't really separate the two, but it shows why they're special to me. One of them would be the Public Enemy one that we went to, Nick, in Southend, right? Reason being, Brighton, that's the one. Sorry, my bad. Brighton. So he's so Brighton, Public Enemy. Like we said before, we just jump on a train, a coach, whatever, man. Sometimes I prefer going to concerts out of town anyway. It's enjoyable, and it make a weekend of it or whatever. Went up to Brighton now. It was a little while before the concert was on, so he's like, let's go grab something to eat, right? So we're walking down the street, randomly, just walking to go and get something to eat. And my sister goes, look, that's Flavor Flav. He was like, nah, that can't be Flavor just walking like that on his own. And she was like, yeah, it is. And we was like, Flav. He was like, yeah, boy. It was like, we literally just met him on the street. He was like, right, remember Nick? He was like, what are you doing? Just walking around, literally just walking around, just doing nothing. Yeah. So he said, I'm just going to look for something to eat. We literally spent the whole afternoon with Flavor Flav, innit? It was funny, man. So we just bumped into him like that, taking pictures. Cool guy. Yeah, took us to get something to eat. Literally, it was him. We met up with his security guard after, and a couple of heads from the group. Literally, he said, don't worry about nothing. I got you. We just literally just bouncing questions off him. And it weren't even like it was one of those ones where we was like, oh, nice to meet you, we'll see you at the concert later. And he was like, no, come, man, come. Like, let me get you something to eat, man. And he was asking us where we're from. We said London. He was like, you come all the way up for the show. Nah, let me get you something to eat. And we proper hung with him for a couple hours, man. So obviously, yeah, man. So he was calling us by our names. And even at the show, Public Enemy always put on a good show, man, as you know. So at the show, he was shouting us out in the concert. Like when he saw us in the crowd, he was like, yo, Easton, yo, Nick, like that, literally in the middle of the concert. It was just funny, man. It was almost one of those things where you never think it's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But put on a good show. Got to meet Chuck D as well. We had met him at the Coco concert before that, though, didn't we? So that's probably like the second time meeting him. But it was just good, man. It just made the whole experience more memorable and special. Do you know what I mean? So literally one of those ones, man. So that was one that I would say was enjoyable and memorable for those reasons. But the other one has to probably be the highlight for me is when 1997, I was probably 16 going on 17. Once again, shout out to the Temple in Tottenham. It was a Westwood after party. Say what you want about Westwood, man, as we've had discussions before. But he did back in the day. He pulled the names out, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So all the names are in Carnival. So it's a Carnival after party. So yeah, it would have been July, August. So I'd have been 16. So yeah, he literally, everyone that was at the Carnival for the Westwood team, he literally brought back to Temple. So we was there at the Temple. everyone was there at this time. Whoever was hot in '96 was there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like EPMD were there, Jay-Z was there, Busta Rhymes was there, just Kim was there. Just everyone was there, man. So they was all chilling behind the stage at Temple, and so me and Nick now we tried to go and try to get in, obviously. So the security guard's there. He was like, "No, you can't get back here." I'm like, "Oh man, let's just go to the back in there where all the people." He's like, "No, you're not allowed here. You're not allowed back here, man." I said to him, "Look, man. Obviously, as you know, Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. He was at the time as well. He had just dropped Reasonable Doubt, and I'm like, nah." So I'm looking at. I know it sounds very Spanish now, but I was 16, innit? So I'm looking at Jay-Z over there and I'm saying to the guy, "Look, man, that's my favorite rapper, man. Make you just let me in and let me just talk to him, man. Like that will be something I'll remember forever." Do you know what I'm saying? And the security guy looked at me and he went, "Go on." And he just lifted up the figure, let me through. I just ran straight to Jay-Z. We was just chopping it up, talking a little bit, talking about Reasonable Doubt, asking me what I thought about it. I was asking him about Volume 2 because it was literally on its way out to drop. He was asking me what my favourite song is off Reasonable Doubt and things like that. So that was obviously something I'm going to remember. But yeah, and the show just was good, man. All them people I mentioned were performing. Got to meet, I think it was Eric Sermon, obviously Jay-Z, Busta, few people, man. So that was a concert that was special for me, man. And it always sticks in my memory, man. So yeah, I'll probably put them down as my two most standout shows and memorable ones: the Public Enemy one, and that one, the Westwood one. So yeah, that's me, man. That's me.
Well, Lost was there as well, bro. Or was that a different?
I think they were. You know, I definitely remember seeing. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing Pretty Lou. Yeah, they must have been. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, that was a good. When you think about the names that he pulled back there, man, there was a lot of people in that temple, man.
Westwood had some appeal,
a lot of big names.
Man. People used to come to London just for Westwood. So yeah, man,
he did.
He used to draw the names, so you can't really find that for real, man. He had a load of drops and stuff. People literally do drops on his radio show and all kind of stuff back in them days, man. So yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Even saw Biggie in Temple through Westwood. Yeah, he was the guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was for sure. I used to record his shows and stuff on a Friday night back in the days, man. But yeah, he went left eventually. Boy, it's a tough one for me as well. I can't pull one.
No, if you both get two, I get to add another one. So that's
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm thinking like, how can I put this one on top of that one, and I just can't because there's just so. I've spoken about the Michael Jackson one, and obviously for obvious reasons, that one's obviously gonna be special. But strictly speaking about hip hop, there's definitely. I'll keep it to two, but there's definitely more than two that stick in the mind, and the one that sticks in the mind a lot is when I went to see Method Man and Redman up in Liverpool. My best mate again was working at Ticketmaster, and he was putting on the show in Liverpool. So me and my other mate drove up, and we had this wicked hotel that was in the shape of a boat or something, and like the windows were like literally flipping, you know what I mean, like the little circular things you get in the boat or whatever. And the concert venue was literally a walk across the road. So I went up there. I was linking a girl up there, and she had just dropped me back. And then as I'm walking to my hotel room, I just see Beth and Red just across the road.
Oh wow!
Like, oh, Red Man, and he was like, yo. So and then the security kind of walked him in. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I walked in. I said to my guy, I just saw Red Man across the street. He's like, they're here already. It's like, yeah, man, they're there. It's like, oh, I thought they'll turn up late. So we go to the show. They put on a killer show. And at the end of the show, Redman was like, I'm going to stay behind and sign some T-shirts and whatever. So a few people stayed behind. And then I actually got to not just meet him, but talk to him. I was talking to him about There Is a Dark Side that he was saying, I don't like performing the album. I don't remember half of it.
Wow.
I wasn't in a great place, man. I thought he scratched his head. He's like, I just don't like that album. And I was like, bro, that's your greatest album. And like, we was proper chopping it, and he took pictures with me and my guys, and we were throwing up sides and stuff. Yeah, that was an amazing night, man, because he was my favorite rapper at the time as well. So to get to meet him and talk to him, and for him to be so cool as well, it was just that was
exactly, yeah.
And then after that must have finished at about, I think we must have left there at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And I had a flight to catch to Egypt at about 9 o'clock. So I had to leave the concert venue, go to the hotel, get my stuff, drive back down to London, and then get a flight over to Egypt, because it was 2 days before my birthday that this happened. I was going on holiday for my birthday. So yeah, man, then I flew out. So that was a crazy few hours for me. Go drive up to Liverpool, go to the show, meet Redman, drive back that same night, catch a flight that morning, and off for a 2-week holiday.
That's really cool, isn't it?
So, yeah, exactly.
It really was, man. Really was.
Yeah. I love.
So was Meth not hanging about?
Nah, Meth has got social anxiety, man. So he doesn't really do the crowds and stuff. So Method Man just kind of went in the back. He did his show, was like, I'm out of here. he was just in the back chilling, and Redman was just out there. So he signed like a little postcard thing for me that I've still got, like the Doxter name logo, like with his red hat, and the blunt and all that. So we had like stickers, and he signed that for me. I've still got that somewhere. He signed something else for me. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a poster or a T-shirt or something. But he signed that in. Like I said, he was taking pictures with us and all of that, man. So yeah, that was incredible for me, man, because he was my favorite MC from like '92 all the way through to like Blackout album and Docs, all of that. And so to meet him was like, that was my pinnacle. Yeah, and he killed everything. Killed everything in the '90s. I think me and he was talking about this recently. You know, he was like, this guy's underappreciated, man, what he did for the whole decade.
We appreciate him, don't we? And I think his knowledge of funk, you know, George Clinton, Parliament Funk, Guitar Watson, bringing all of that into hip hop is cool. Just like, you know, Jizza bringing in classical, his love of classical music and stuff. I think they do definitely need to be recognized, don't they?
Yeah, I totally agree. And just for him to be cool, because you know sometimes they say don't meet your idols and stuff, and when you meet them and they're dickheads or whatever. I haven't actually had that happen yet.
I haven't.
Everyone I've met has been super cool, like everyone. My second one, would it be Wu-Tang when Method Man was climbing up the walls, or would it be?
Oh, we were at the same one then.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna go for this.
That's like we've been at so many of the same things. It's mad.
This is so tough. This is so tough. But I think I'm gonna go for KRS-One. All right, KRS-One had a show, right, where he said to the crowd, okay, listen, give me some words, and I want to do a freestyle. And everyone was like, a freestyle? And then he put on some classical music. He was like, do you know what this is? This is Vivaldi. And the man started freestyling over Vivaldi, like off the top of his head. But for my second one, I'm gonna go for the Foreign Exchange at Jazz Cafe.
Oh.
So this was this must have been 2016-ish. At the time, well, even up to now, Fonte is probably like my favorite rapper, singer. Like the man is incredibly talented, and I've always loved the Foreign Exchange from their first album. But when this show came, I can't explain how good this show was. Like I left there and I was just like, that's possibly the greatest show I've seen. And out of all of the shows that I've been to, the reason like everything was played live. Like so there was no DJ. Everything was live instrumentation. So you had Nicolay playing the keys, you had Zoe playing the keys, you had Dude on bass. Fonte was obviously singing and rapping live, and everything was just totally like the backing singers. Everything was just 10 out of 10, and they were mixing songs, playing live instruments, like how a DJ would mix a song on a turntable.
Yeah.
They were mixing a song with instruments, and I was just like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And they took one of their songs.
That's mad.
And then they mixed it in with that CC Peniston tune. Come on, you know, CC Peniston. Finally. They mixed one of their songs, and then you hear the transition, and you're like, I know this tune. Finally, and then they went into that shit, bro. It was just bananas. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And at the end, again, I got to meet Nicolay. I got to meet Zoe, Yazara. I didn't get to meet Fonte on that occasion. I met him at a Little Brother show. But yeah, that was just, the level was just, and anyone who's watching this will know what I'm saying, how just brilliant that show was. And it went on for like 90 minutes, 2 hours. And you know, sometimes you think, oh man, I'll be there for a minute. Not once did you think,
yeah,
you feel like that.
It just felt like it was like that. But he did every single song you'd want them to do. They did the song. And to hear it all done live as well, I think that's what killed it for me. The fact that it wasn't turntables and then them just kind of singing or rapping, but everything was played organically and it sounded perfect. Like they just made it in the studio. Man, that show just sticks in my memory, man. I came home and we were just like,
that's
yo,
insane.
that was, and because like it was a special thing for me and my girl at the time, like because we listened to a lot of their music as well. So for us to hear all of this music that we had enjoyed, and it was just me and her, like it was, it's just that was an amazing show, man. So yeah, Foreign Exchange, I think I've got to put that out there.
That's so nice.
That's a good pick, man. That's a good one.
Nick,
who's your second one?
My second one then has to be Camp Low.
Oh, what a shout!
We went to Camp Low, and the vibe and the energy was just so beautiful. And that album, me and Bro like have killed that album. I mean,
killed it, man.
You know, which songs did we play the most? Black Nostalgia. This is it.
Black Connection, I think. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Lucchini. Obviously, Black Connection. Yeah, that was mad. What's it called? Crystal Carrington. That got a lot of spin, man.
Coolie High.
That album, man. Coolie High. Yeah, that's the first thing I heard from them. I think it was off the Soul in the Hole, innit, or something like that. But that's the first thing I heard from Camp Low.
The first time, and then I was like, these guys are crazy.
Yeah,
I've never seen them live.
Yeah, they're
never
still
got to see
just
them live
once.
Yeah. You've got the artwork.
That was a good show.
You got the artwork. Yeah.
What for
the album artwork?
Yeah.
I mean, you just think of the album and the art that goes with that, and then you put the album on, and it's like just from beginning to end, such a clever album. And
it's a classic in my eyes. I love that album. Love it to death.
Yeah, if they just want to do in a concert with that album, they got it. And they are incredibly cool. I mean,
they was just walking around as well, just meeting people, innit?
They don't run for a bus or anything. Those kind of guys, right? Very cool. So yeah, that's my second one.
Oh man,
do you know what I liked about that concert as well?
Yeah.
It was a good one. What I liked about that concert as well was that, obviously, no disrespect to Camp Low, but obviously their best work is Uptown Saturday Night, and it's that album. But remember, at the concert, for like the first half of the concert, they never done anything off that album. So they was just doing other songs. That's still good to get me, but everyone wanted to hear Uptown Saturday Night work.
It's brave.
And then you just heard the Crystal Carrington intro, and it was like everyone just went crazy because he knew it was now time for that, man. But yeah, man, that was a good show actually, man. It was a good concert. I mean, there's so many, man. There's so many. But
there are so many.
Yeah. I don't want to do injustice by trying to forget anyone, man, because I've seen so many shows.
Exactly.
Like, wow. I think Busta Rhymes was especially the show that he did in, I think it was Hammersmith. And he came out to throw the water on him, I think it was. And the crowd just went bananas. And this was when he still had his dreadlocks and whatever. And we hadn't heard that tune. That was like a new tune. That wasn't on any of his albums or anything. Came out to that, just destroyed it, just went into every tune, just everything that you would want to hear. Give me some more, tear the roof off, parties going on over here, woo-ha.
Yeah, he's
dangerous. Like, he puts on a show. He is him and Spliff Star going back and forth with each other. And then they did this thing where
unmatched, man.
Spliff Star gave him a drink of water. And then he started doing the speed rapping. He went, this water makes me talk really, really, really. Then he started going into speed rapping and whatever. Yeah, just these little things that they would do to make it an actual show. It was brilliant. And then they did this thing where after that, he did the speed rapping thing. Then he did Give Me Some More, because he was obviously rapping fast on that tune. Then he went, we're going to slow it down a little bit. So he said Scratchator. At the time, I thought Scratchator was DJ Scratch. I didn't know that they were two different people. Yeah, so his DJ is Scratchator. So he went, Scratchator, I want you to tell the crowd a story. So DJ Scratchator, 2 turntables, said, I'm going to tell you guys a story. And he told a story using 2 turntables.
Wow.
So he would take a bit of a record and be like, so he'd be like, I started my day doing bubble. So he'd be like Ice Cube. I started my day doing da 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 da. Then he went into the and then I did this, and then he'll play the next tune, and it all told a story, bro. It was absolutely incredible.
That's
That's
mad.
DJ, couldn't we? Really? I mean,
absolutely.
Say that again.
Absolutely.
I said we could go on to Best Alive DJ, but there
absolutely we could. But yeah, Scratchator would definitely be up there for me. But I couldn't not mention how amazing.
Of course, yeah.
Shows are. Every time I left his shows, man, I was like, this guy is on a different planet.
Right, you've got 3, we get another one. Not really.
But in contrast, we can do a show that was a little bit disappointing that we went to. One that we maybe had high expectations for that didn't quite hit the note, or one that you just remember for not being as good as it could have been. You want to go first, Indy?
For me, would have been Capone and Noriega.
Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
They turned up 2 hours late.
Let me just say,
ridiculous.
I absolutely love them. When the War Report came out, like, walls were shaking, like bedrooms were shaking, and wow, the anticipation of seeing them was, I think we set ourselves up to fail because the esteem was really high.
I was there. I can remember Blitz.
So super late. Just very lax performance. Like, I don't even want to say too much to disrespect them, but I love them. But that was probably, quite disappointing, actually.
Great minds think alike, because that was going to be mine. Because that was when, was it Capone who had the red jacket?
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Noriega came about.
Because they were late. They were 3 hours. Was it 3 hours late? And Shorty Blitz was still having
silly
to
late, man.
Yeah,
so I came in with Shorty.
He had to keep doing his set.
He had to keep his set going.
Yeah.
So I was literally standing next to him, and I was like, Shorty, bro, like, these guys coming. And he was like, bro, I'm pissed. So he was having to play like 2 hours later, and he was vexed. So even when they were rapping, he was on stage, he was looking at me like he was doing this.
So usually
the crowd were vexed, man.
Right, exactly. So when Shorty usually does a set, everyone's just like, yeah, this is cool. But this was like, no, we don't want to.
It was hard.
Anymore.
He earned his money that night, man. He really did.
Yeah, for sure. But
that was mad.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick. So I got to choose another one now. Thank you.
Just quickly though, do you remember with that CNN as well? The thing that was so annoying is like they showed up late, and then it was like doing other people's songs and verses. And I remember they was doing a pun set and a Biggie set, and people were booing.
Yeah.
And Nori was like, "What? You ain't got no respect for the dead?" It was like, it's like of course we respect
like,
the dead, but bro,
3 hours
you come
late.
to hear your music and you're like 3 hours late, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that was mad. That was mad.
I remember
that was a lot of hype. We was waiting for that, man. That was mad.
Yeah, that was
But
very disappointing.
Good shout. I actually forgot about that show.
Yeah, that would have been my pick for sure. What about you, E?
Disappointment. I'm saying it now. I know definitely you, Slap, and anyone else who's listening, they're probably going to say, well, you must have been expecting disappointment. But anyway, I'll say it. As you know, I actually am a Fat Joe fan. Not his recent stuff, but, you know, the first three
Jealous
drops,
One's
Terror Squad
Envy,
stuff. Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
That's a personal classic for me, that 95 drop. So anyway, so it was going, and obviously Foxy Brown's cool. But anyway, you might remember it was meant to be in the Indigo. It was meant to be Fat Joe, Foxy Brown, and Mace, right? So I literally said, I'm going to go. I literally said, I'm telling you, exactly. I literally thought, I'm going to go for Fat Joe. Hopefully he does all his early stuff. I knew he'd be doing some of the commercial stuff, but I thought, you know, you might just do some Jealous One's Envy stuff. And I don't mind a bit of Foxy.
This is Indigo, bro. When no one turned up, was that one?
That's the one. So we're going, innit? Right. There you go. So that's how I know it was disappointing, because I heard along the way, ticket bought and everything, and I heard, Foxy's not going to show up or something like that. And I thought, man.
Yeah.
No, Mace showed. That's why it was disappointing.
Yeah, sorry, Mace showed.
Foxy and Fat Joe didn't.
Yeah, that was
so I basically drove all the way down for a Mace concert. I'm like, bro, I would not be paying money to go to a Mace concert in whatever year it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went for Fat Joe, Foxy, and I thought I'll deal with Mace. And it ends up being just Mace. Listen, man. I was like, nah. And everyone in the crowd was pissed because he was like, oh, let's just have a good time doing all of his, you know, his dancing and his music, and just everyone in the crowd was just annoyed, man. So I've got to say that's going to be one of the most disappointing, man, because out of 3 people, the least one you want to see is just him. That
should have been cancelled.
Yeah. You should have. That should have been money back, man. I remember the backlash the morning after that show.
Yeah.
It was mad. It was mad. But saying that, they did give you an opportunity at the door. Because obviously I weren't living in London at the time, so I drove down for the concert, and the security guard at the door, he was like, "Oh, no Fat Joe, no Foxy, just Mace. Do you want your money back?" And I was like, so I was with my other brethren at the time, and I was like, "Well, listen, I've drove all the way down. I might as well just come now, innit? Because what's the point?" But yeah, not good, man. So that's what I'd put down as one of my most disappointing ones. Other than that, I've not really had a disappointing show.
Can I ask you, maybe, would you say if all of the Wu-Tang members didn't turn up, would that be disappointing, or is that expecting too much? Because I know
I've got one.
I've got one. I think Brixton Academy.
but they've probably done it so many times.
Yeah, I wanted to see that one in there. I don't know if they've ever all showed up.
I don't think. Well, not overseas. So. They probably do in America.
Yeah, in America they do for sure. Yeah.
Not here,
but man. I went to had like Jizza, Kappa, Deck, but basically there was no Meth, no Ghost, no RZA, no Raekwon. All the people that everyone want to pay and go see. None of them was there.
You were at that one, wasn't?
You was at that Brixton one, and the sound was terrible, man.
The sound was awful, and Jizza was there in his granddad jacket, and he was just standing there, just no. Everyone's just like, what's this? Yeah, that was terrible. Bad. But my one is we went to an EPMD show in Kentish Town again, Forum. Yeah. EPMD being one of my favorite groups of all time. So I was highly looking forward to this. Special Ed was on the list as well, performing. So we said, you know what, we're gonna go late because we just want to see Eric and Parrish making dollars. I'm not bothered about. I do like Special Ed, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I ain't gonna break my neck to see Special Ed. So we got there. And the DJ was doing the warm-up. Cool. leads into EPMD. Are you ready for EPMD? Of course we are, man. We've been there for ages. Hurry up. So PMD comes out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I got time for you, PMD. I mean, you're not Eric. You know, I came to see Eric. but it's fine. So PMD comes out and he's rapping along, and I'm like, this is where Eric comes in. So Eric's got to come out now. Then the DJ cuts the tune. Ah, okay, interesting.
No.
He goes into the next tune.
No.
Ah, yeah, I love this tune. Ah, this is where Eric comes in. Ah, Eric still ain't here. This is interesting.
That's not
free
good.
tune after he's done free.
So they didn't even address it.
They didn't even address it. And then the crowd started getting a bit because we're like, where's Eric, man? So then he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, Eric Sermon couldn't make it. He missed his flight or something along those lines. So everyone.
I heard about that show.
Everyone went off.
I would have been happy with Paris.
I heard about that show.
Paris, but it's not the point, is it?
That's not the point. You tell us at the beginning.
If you're going to see Paris, then yeah, but.
Exactly. If you went to a PMD show, fine. But we went for an EPMD show.
That's
and you've waited for 3 tunes to tell us that the main man ain't there. I'm sorry, but no.
I think they do that to the UK a lot.
They do.
We can't be palmed off like that because we are just so loyal and like properly diehard when it comes to so many artists from the States. We can't be palmed off like that. Like
they do it to us a lot, man. Do you remember the Rakim one as well? When we was all bought our tickets to go Rakim and everything. It's same in Indigo again. That might have been 2015 or something like that. Then it's cancelled because they said he's scared of flying and cancelled the show.
What? Wow.
I'm like, bro, didn't you know you're scared of flying before you sent the flyers out? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know how true it is, but it was like, oh, he's got some phobia with planes and he chickened out basically. He didn't want to travel to the UK. I'm like, no, that can't be accurate, man.
That's terrible.
But that's what I love about PE is that they have always respected their UK fans, always.
Yeah, well, look at their albums. They'll even have skits of our shows. Their shows over
there. Yeah. London, make some noise.
Yeah, so
yeah, man.
No, their first big gig was in London. And they've always thanked us and appreciated us for that, you know.
America's so big, though, isn't it? Man, if you got the backing of one state, man, you can still make a big impact.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I think I don't think they see the need.
That if you come to Europe, you can do England, you can do France, you can do Holland, you can do Germany, you can do Croatia. You do all of that little circle that they normally do, and then you go home. And they all get appreciated at every single one of those shows. So you can do London, you can do Birmingham, you can do Liverpool, Manchester. You go over to France, blah 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 blah. And the smart artists know that our following over here is, as you said, is loyal. Will turn up. Will stay to the end of the show. You ain't gonna get cussed out. Like if you're in the West Coast in America, you ain't gonna do shows in the East because they might cuss you out or tell you you're trash or whatever. But you ain't gonna get none of that over here. You're gonna get love and respect and you know what I mean, all that. So the smart artists figured it out a long time ago. If you want to make money, come to Europe, man, because that's guaranteed money.
100%.
Exactly, man. That's why you get people like Public Enemy. I'd even say Smith and Wesson as well. De La Soul. They'll come over like every other year, man. Obviously, COVID messed that up, but there's certain artists you're going to see like probably every other year. They're always going to be coming. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they know the smart money's here. A lot of these guys, they don't even need to touch London anymore. They can just come in and not even touch London and still get good turnouts, good shows, good money, and go.
Absolutely.
And do their thing.
I've heard of like Keith Murray doing a show in like Chester or some. He just turned up. In some random place. It was Ram. It was a great show. I never went to it, but and apparently it was fantastic. But
Have you guys done a show on East Coast and West, or is that a different?
What do you mean? It's in America. The beef?
No, not beef. No, I mean in general, as in shows about them. You know, like the artists, West Coast artists.
Not any sort of dedicated show towards East and West. We're just trying to celebrate hip hop, man, in general. Do you know what I mean? So try not to bring in these sort of real, but you know what's in the pipeline, man. But listen, I got to share one more Wu-Tang concert story, man, before we wrap up, man. there's so many for Wu in it. But as you was talking about the Brixton one as well, I remember Nick, our first time seeing Wu.
Yes.
What would it have been? It would have been maybe 90. It would have been 94, maybe 94. It was in Ilford.
93, 93. Yeah.
So it was our first time going to see Wu. So Enter the Wu had dropped. What was the next that Takao had dropped? And I think that's it. I think that's all that had dropped at the time. Because what was after Takao? That would have been like
When was ODB?
Dirty Version,
ODB.
Liquid Swords.
ODB was
Yeah,
next.
so ODB hadn't
ODB
dropped
was
yet. No. ODB had a single out. He had his Shimmy Shimmy R out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he never had the album out yet. So it
Right.
would have been like, what, early 95, late 94. So anyway, we're gassed in it because, as you know, Wu-Tang, you know, the impact they made around them times, crazy, as you know. So we went up to Ilford for this show. Nick, you know I'm going to say it. We're expecting a Wu-Tang concert. Only ODB shows up. Only
No.
Dirty shows up in the whole concert. But you know the hilarious thing as well, though? He's drunk. He's off his face, man. Off his face, man. But you know what, though? He done nearly every song off the 36 Chambers album and rapped everyone's verse. I'll never forget
Wow.
it. Never
crazy.
forget it. Literally. So we was all angry at first, thinking, where's Wu? And the same with the EPMD thing. It wasn't addressed.
I was like, where's
That's what I
Meth?
mean, the disrespect sometimes. But yeah, it was like, no one. Just ODB.
Yeah, you get that-
He's
you get that
thinking, when's
feeling like
everyone
they're
else
like,
going to come on?
come
Same
on.
like you, the EPMD. That's what it was feeling like. It's like, oh, we paid to see Wu-Tang. No disrespect to Old Dirty, but he only had the single out. I don't think he even had the album out at the time. But listen, he done the whole thing, man, and it was actually a really good concert, man. Everyone was all angry at first, but we left like buzzing. It was good. But yeah, I always remember that, man. That was actually funny. But yeah, respect to ODB, man. Do you know what I mean? He put on the show, man. Done every Klansman's verse he done, man, and held it down. But yeah, man. Any other memorable moment or concert highlight or anything anyone wants to throw out before we wrap up?
I think I've got to shout out Onyx, man. The Onyx show.
Onyx!
Onyx show at Jazz
I haven't
Cafe.
even seen them live yet, man.
That was
Jazz
that
Cafe.
was a show and
No,
a
I went
half.
there,
That-
man.
Oh, God. Where were you?
I must have clashed with something, man, because I haven't seen Onyx live. I haven't seen EPMD live, Onyx live, or MLP live. That's why I need that show to be rescheduled, man.
Onyx was insane. Like, if you had high blood pressure,
Yeah.
rude, because that was just next level. Thank
That
you
was
for bringing that up. We were at the same show then, Slap.
that was a crazy show. Crazy show.
Crazy.
Yeah, we left that show.
And the
just
venue like Jazz
oh,
Cafe.
those guys, man. And they had the energy, and Sticky had the voice, and they did every tune.
Thank you,
Man.
Onyx. Thank you. And they're
Yeah,
still
that was
throwing
a
it
show.
down. They're still throwing it down today.
Yeah. They killed it, man. They absolutely buried it.
Yeah.
I think a surprise show for me, one that I wasn't expecting at all. Actually, there's two shows. One was Nice and Smooth. Now, I wasn't always the biggest Nice and Smooth fan at all. I didn't think Greg Nice was a good rapper.
Movies,
Blah,
man.
blah. But when I saw them live, they killed. Like Greg Nice was doing it. He was going in the crowd. He was doing his little dances with the girls. Smooth B was doing his thing, and they did like all the tunes. I was like, this show is actually great. But then it came to they did Duik, and obviously the DJ started playing Duik. Everyone goes off. Then he stopped it.
Of course.
And then they rapped along to it, and obviously the whole crowd is going along with every single word. Then he stops it again, and then Smooth B starts crying, and then he tells a story about how back in the day, like there wasn't many collaborations. So he was talking about how they met Guru and how they came on with how they did the song and the record labels and all of that. So he's like, we broke down barriers and we made this classic song and blah blah blah. And then he went, this one's for you, Guru. They spun it again, did the tune again. Everyone's rapping along again. Then the crowd went, one more time, and then they did it again. Killed it.
That's mad.
Killed it.
That is
so
mad.
yeah, they spun Quick 3 times in a row. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, I met both of them as well. I got pictures with both of those two. And that was a brilliant show. And then at the end, obviously, they saved Troy for last. So then Pete Rock said, "All right, I know you came to hear something." It was like, "Oh yeah, we heard Troy, yeah." So he started, and then the whole crowd starts doing it. Killed it. Did that one again 3 times. And then as he's coming off stage, because me and my guy, we were standing basically on the stage, and then his security guard was like, no, he was like, oh, can we get a picture? And the security guard was like, no, and he ain't got time. And then Peter was like, come on, man. Moves the security guard out the way and went, yeah, what's your name, bro? Like, so cool. And CL Smooth as well. So yeah, met both of those guys, man.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's a fantastic show. Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Nah, that's dope, man. But yeah, man, like you said, we could literally go on and on, man, the amount of shows you've been. So yeah, man, we'll wrap it up, man. We hope like everyone enjoyed the episode, man. I'm just talking about some highlights, maybe some disappointing ones, but as you know, as you can probably tell, we're concert goers, man. So we could talk all day about shows, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Easily. So hopefully things are beginning to obviously settle down with the whole pandemic thing. We can start going to some shows again, man. Maybe we can do another episode down the line about some more shows, man, after. But yeah, man. Okay, so from us, man, we'll call it a night and say thank you for joining us again, man. So yeah, so Indy, thank you for joining us, man. It's been good having you on, man.
Thank you to Nikki for joining us, man. Thank you so much.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and from Slack
again.
Yeah, man. Open invitation, man. So it'd be good. Nothing but love, man. Be back again with you again next week. So have a good week. Stay blessed. And we'll see you again, man. So peace.
Salute.